Egypt is a country located in Africa. It's a country full of culture and a lot of things that we are going to be analyzing in this documental. Egypt is a state in transition, but what does that mean? Egypt has experienced significant political changes, including the overthrow of long-standing leaders and subsequent transition in government, such as Mubarak in 2011 and Mohamed in 2013. The country has been striving to transition towards a more democratic system of government, with efforts to establish transparent institutions, promote civil liberties, and ensure free and fair elections. Economic reforms have been initiated to address issues such as unemployment, poverty, and income inequality, including attracting foreign investment, promoting private sector growth, and improving infrastructure. Egypt's strategic location and regional influence have contributed to its state of transition, with challenges related to security, terrorism, and regional conflicts influencing in political and social dynamics. Even though progress has been made, Egypt continues to face challenges in areas such as political stability, economic development, social reforms, and human rights, which will shape its future trajectory and transition to a more stable and inclusive society. The political system in Egypt has four main areas. The current political system in Egypt is characterized by a strong executive branch, limited by political freedoms and restriction on opposition and dissent. The government has focused on stability and security, but there are concerns about human rights and political repression. The current economic system can be described as a mix of market-oriented policies and state intervention. The government has implemented economic reforms aimed to attract foreign investment, promoting private sector growth, and improving infrastructure. These reforms include subsidy reforms, fiscal consolidates, and a more flexible exchange rate policy. However, income inequality, poverty, and unemployment levels remain. In Egypt, certain industries are dominated by state owned enterprises or have a strong government influence. These include sectors such as energy, transportation, telecommunications, and banking, where state owned companies play a crucial role. In the legal area, we are going to see three principal points. Egypt's legal system has seen advancements and challenges. They have made reforms and in areas such as commercial law and intellectual property rights to create business-friendly environment and protect investments. However, the concerns about independence and effectiveness still remain. Property rights protection in Egypt have had progress and challenges. The legal framework recognizes private ownership and provides them laws. However, informality is a major issue and most people still working in an informality level. According to the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, the country is really high in corruption. They are ranked in the number 130 out of 180 countries, and they had a score of 30 out of 100, where 0 represents highly corrupt and 100 represents very clean. Egypt is a country full of culture, and one of the most important things are the following. Some of the most dominating values and norms for this country is the family and community, the respect for authority and elders, hospitality and generosity, religious belief, and modest and conservatism. These values are norms reflect the cultural and religious heritage of this country and have a profound influence on the daily lives of the social of these people. In this country, because of the borders, there are various subcultures that exist. Some of them are the Bedouin culture. They are traditionally nomadic Arab tribes. The Nubian culture, it's an ethnic group, native. The Coptic culture, the Sufi culture, the urban youth culture, that is the one that is living in urban centers and is culture influenced by modern trends. Social structure in this country exhibits stratification with a hierarchy that includes the elite class, middle class, working class, and urban poor. The elite class holds the power and resources, while the middle class consists of professionals and educated individuals, and the working class and the urban poor face challenges such as unemployment and poverty. Islam is the predominant religion in Egypt, and Islamic values heavily influence Egyptian culture. These values include faith, prayer, modesty, and adherence to Islamic principles in personal and social life. The official language of Egypt is Modern Standard Arabic. It is the formal language. The predominant language spoken is Egyptian Arabic, which is a dialect, and additionally, English is widely understood and used in various sectors such as tourism business. The unspoken language is really important in Egyptian culture since they are people real expressing emotions, intentions, and social clues. It is important to see it because they use a lot of gestures and body language. They use it for hospitality and warmth, cultural norms and etiquette, emotion and expressivenesses, and context and subtlety. Many of the times they don't speak it; they just use unspoken languages to express all these things. The education system in Egypt includes primary. It begins at 6 years old. After that is preparatory, which is 3 years old and focus on expanding knowledges. After that is secondary, which is divided in two tracks: general secondary and vocational education. General secondary education is further divided into scientific, literary, and vocationally streams. And at the end is tertiary education, which is university. Some of the main development indicators of this country is the GDP. In 2021, the GDP of Egypt was approximately $104 million. The growth rate was projected to be around 2.9 for that year, and the equivalent of 68% of the world average when adjusted by purchasing power parity. The population level of Egypt in 2021 was approximately 104 million of peoples. In age distribution, Egypt has relatively young population. Around 60% of the population is estimated to be under the age of 30 years old. In terms of migration, Egypt has a significant history of both emigration and immigration. The current migration rate for Egypt in 2023 is minus 0.374 per 1,000 population. It means a decline of 0.8% from 2022. In the immigration part, Egypt has historically been a destination for immigrants. Due to the geographical location, people are looking for refugees and asylum seekers, labor migration, and African migration. In the part of immigration, the people from Egypt has a long history of immigrate to different countries, and the main reasons are for economic reasons, education and skill enhancement, political and social factors, and family reunification. The country has some restriction policies. For the immigration parts, they help people to move. They include visa requirements, work permissions, and refuge registration processes. And on the other hand, for the migration part, the government from this country recognized that the migration is a significant phenomenon and has implemented policies to keep people in this country.